Insects will be at the cardiac of world harvest losses as the environment warms up, predicts a U.S. research. Scientists' estimation the pests will be consuming 10 to 25% more than grain, rice, and corn through the ball for every 1% growth in environment heat. Heating drives bug power use and prompts them to eat more than their populations can as well growth. The is connected to put blood pressure on the planet's guideline grass cereal, says research company author Curtis Deutsch. Professor Deutsch, Joshua Tewksbury, and associate include carried out a research on a world scope and looked at 3 various corn cereal how are bracket foods for billions of human beings. Guy Mack, who is Prof of Ecological at College of Southampton, UK, and Plant on Meal Safety told, it is a Roman piecing along of several trimming of a puzzle. The crew put lab information of 38 bug kind in the mathematics pattern. They looked to see how the power use and increase responding of these insects to heat might influence next harvest losses. Down there is already reckoned to be a straight impact of environment changing on cereal, in yields decreasing by on 5% for each 1% growth in heat. How losing will be 50% high since of bug harm, told Professor Tewksbury of the College of Colorado Rubble, U.S. So, the new study suggests the activity of pests will speed heat-induced impacts. As the heat rises, bug populations increase and they eat more rapid. Professor Tewksbury added, all of how adds up to greater consuming machines, especially in the moderate area, love in the loaf cart of Europe or in the maize belts of the U.S. In lot Europe countries we are predictive 50 to 100% increases in the effect of pests on cereal. That could indicate full losses in Europe grain give of about 16 millionth tons due to pests. But in the tropical zone, insects are already nearer to the optimum work heat and a growth in heat is in fact potential to begin restrictive populations. The would conduct to less insects and less cereal creature corrupt. Several of the planet's largest efficient regions of corn manufacture are in the moderate area and at hazard, consisting US, France and China. That could be a actual issue taking into account how corn, rice, and grain expense for 42% of the amount of calories consumption by humans world. Already, 1 in 9 human beings afflict of persistent famine through the ball. Environment model propose world shallow temperature could growth by 2 to 5 degrees by 2100. Professor Deutsch thinks how, by the period we get to a 2% heating by medium century we would be capable to discover the type of changing in bug parasite harm how we are leading. And down there are some factors how, if put in the crew's mathematics pattern, could do the result the worst. These factors involve factory pathogens transferred by the insects, modified precipitation events patterns, and growing air carbon sequestration dioxide concentrations. Pesticides use is overall in Europe and particularly the UK. But expert alert how pests may be more than persistent to them in a heating pet environment. It may so indicate how we requirement to change to with more than biologic tool of control pests, such as ladybirds, told Professor Mack. Some adaptable solutions might involve changing landing dates, rotary cereal more than and landing cereal how are more than elastic to pests. But as Professor Mack points of, to the UK newly we've had snowing, we've had spike precipitation events and we've had a hot summer. While the increasing time of year has to transactions in all such things later how can be a especially hard problem.